It's a Veggie Pita! I totally suck at video games, but love to play them anyway. The final conference of the first day of E3 was the Sony conference, and it started late. Shame on you, Sony, but that's okay because they had a ton of great stuff. First they announced some stuff for the Vita, but no titles that I really care about, except for like the HD versions of Final Fantasy X. But still, nothing new that I wanted to play. The Walking Dead bundle is a good idea, and it's cool, but I don't know. The Vita screen and the system, well, the screen is so gorgeous and the system is so nice and like usable. I want to use it more, but I need games, Sony. I need more games. But then they went into the PS3 games that are coming out. Of course, Last of Us, that's like almost out already, and apparently has amazing reviews. The Puppeteer looks cute. I don't know. Rain looks pretty and creepy at the same time, which is promising. Beyond Two Souls looks very Willem Dafoe-y. I mean, you could definitely tell it's Willem Dafoe in that game. The clip they showed had a lot more action than any other Beyond Two Souls thing I've seen, so that was cool. And Gran Turismo 6, the most I can say is cars are pretty. However, I can also say I forgot this was for the PS3. I thought it was for PS4. So it looks gorgeous for a PS3 game. It's really nice. And then they went to Batman Origins, which looks just as good as the other Arkham games, so high hopes on that. And they mentioned a GTA 5 bundle, like Grand Theft Auto, not Gran Turismo, Grand Theft Auto bundle for PS3. For $300, you get the system and the Grand Theft Auto 5. And they mentioned something about a headset that might be extra, I'm not sure. After that, they went into the PS4 stuff, so we finally got to see it. Honestly, for all the hype, like leading up to that, wasn't that big a payoff. It kind of almost looks like the Xbox One in the whole square thing. However, it's more slanty and thinner. I thought I would miss Kaz Hirai on the stage as the CEO, but the new guy did okay. He was kind of entertaining, especially towards the end, which I'll go over later. But yeah, the PS4, I mean, it looks nice. It doesn't look super outstanding. I want to see what they'll do with different colors. That'll be cool. And it does look like they're trying to do like an Xbox One thing with TV media partnerships, which I don't really care about. And they mentioned the music and the video stuff will be available, which I don't use. The pay-per-view through PS3 might be interesting, so if I wanted to watch, one of my wrestling pay-per-views, I don't have to be subscribed to a cable thing. I can just do it through PS3. So that could be promising. They then showed a game called The Order 1886, which essentially looks like a steampunky game, which there aren't too many of them. It had an electric shotgun, which was pretty cool looking, and if it's not a first-person shooter, I might get excited for that game. It looked nice. Then they went to the new Killzone game, which has colors, so it actually also looks nice. It is a first-person shooter, so I'm not going to play it or care much about it, but it looking good. Then they talked about Drive Club, which is more cars. Yay! It didn't draw me in the way the Crew did, so sorry, Sony. They also mentioned Infamous Second Son, and they had a trailer on that with like the two brothers kind of talking to each other. Apparently, it's about brothers. But the one of them has the powers, and man, are those powers looking cool. It was like a fire teleporty jetpacky thing. Like he was just like poof through stuff, and he used his hands, the fire on his hands, to like blast himself up. It was smooth action. But also, why is Troy Baker in everything? That's all I gotta ask. And then they had a game called Knack, which I had no idea what it was, and it was a very short clip. Could be good. Then there was a little teaser for a Quantic Dreams tech demo. They always do awesome stuff. They did a tech demo for the PS3 for that like Kara thing, which was amazing looking, and I wanted more from it. This one, the actual whole tech demo was 12 minutes, but they only showed a few minutes of it, and that old dude looks really realistic. Like I know it's all mocap, so it's kind of like pointless to do the mocap with an actor and then just make it CG instead of just having the actor. But you almost couldn't tell that it was an actor at some point, or that it was mocap at some point. So it was pretty cool, and it was funny. I thought it was gonna be all serious, but it was funny. I want to watch the whole thing. I'll check that out later. Then Sony went into some indie games, which are not my focus or what I really enjoy, but some of them are really fun and have cool ideas. I'll be honest, indie games are usually more about gameplay over story, which a lot of gamers like. I need the story to pull me through. Like if I enjoy the gameplay, it's great, but I don't need to keep playing it unless there's a story to pull me through. But they look good. And it's nice that Sony's focusing on a lot of the indie games. A big one was a Transistor from the guys who made Bastion. I may not have played Bastion, but I know that Bastion is apparently amazing, and Transistor looks very pretty as well. Also, at one point, the guy on stage made a Genji mock on it, the PS3 game. He's like, "This game's historically accurate, but no giant enemy crabs." And I was like, "Oh, poor Genji." Uh, they mentioned Diablo 3 on the PS3 and the PS4, which will be the better version because there's no real money auction house and it's not always online. They didn't mention this, but if you want to play Diablo 3, you might as well get the PS3 or PS4 version. And then, ladies and gentlemen, they made the best announcements of the whole day, for me anyway. They showed clips and gameplay and announced Final Fantasy Versus 13, which is now Final Fantasy 15, but I don't care because hooray, that game is actually still doing something. And I actually have a drink container that I got from the Square Enix store of Noctis, like back in 2008, and or 2009, either way. It's been a long time, and I've had faith in Noctis, and now he's finally coming. And then they did something even more surprising, because the Final Fantasy announcement was great, but then they freaking announced Kingdom Hearts 3. It exists! It exists! Kingdom Hearts! That's all you really need to say. Kingdom Hearts 3. It's coming out. It's in development. And then they also mentioned Final Fantasy 14 will be exclusive to the PS3, PS4. Yay! I don't do MMOs, especially MMORPGs I have to pay for, but it does look very pretty, and it has good music. They did a gameplay demo of Assassin's Creed 4 as opposed to the CG thing that they did at the Ubisoft one. And the good news, ladies and gentlemen, is you can still sit on benches in Assassin's Creed 4. These are the important things. The game was looking smooth until it froze up. Sorry, tech guys. That's not really a good look on the PS4 freezing up during the press conference, but it looked good besides that. And then they did some Watch Dogs gameplay too. So they must have done the CG at Ubisoft, the gameplay at Sony. Ubisoft must like Sony. It's kind of cool. But of course, Watch Dogs had driving. Yay! I don't want to drive in my games. I don't even like driving in real life. But oh well. There was also an interesting, the clips they showed or the gameplay they showed was a camera escort mission because you hacked into cameras to where this dude was hiding and then you had to help guide him along. So you'd watch where the guards were and then you'd tell him to move and he would move to the next place. Yeah, it could be good. That could also be terrible depending on the AI, but we'll find out. They had an interesting a mobile phone co-op thing too, where this one dude came it said searching for mobile to help him escape, and they kind of just distracted the police and put up gates and stuff. We'll see how that works though, because if nobody's online, then they can't really help you. And then Sony did some sports. Yay, skipping. And then they mentioned Elder Scrolls Online, which is another MMO I won't be playing, but apparently PS4 gets the exclusive beta rights, so the beta will be on PS4 first. And then they did a cool CG clip of guy in the desert dying. Someone comes up, you don't see his face. The guy's like, "Kill me!" But he only has one bullet left and runs him over with the car instead. And I was like, "What is this?" And I was watching with someone. They were like, "Looks like Mad Max." Yeah, it was Mad Max. They're making a Mad Max game for the next gen systems, which makes sense because Mad Max is a really cool world and it should have been a good game long ago. And then that kind of winded down and started talking about the PS4 again, and they really stuck it to Microsoft because they mentioned no used games restrictions. You can literally just, trade your games in, give your games to people, lend them to people. You can play them anywhere. You don't have to be online in order to play your games. You don't have to check in once every 24 hours or once every hour on a different system. The only kind of negative is that you will need a PlayStation Plus for multiplayer. However, with Xbox Live having done that for forever, it's not that bad a thing. Plus, PlayStation Plus is $10 cheaper than Xbox Live, so booyah. And then that seriously, all of that talk about just laying into Microsoft got the room cheering. It was great. I felt so good for Sony. And then they had a little bit more. They talked about Destiny, which is it's still a first-person shooter, but it's by the guys who did Halo, I think. I don't know. Either way, it's Bungie, and it's colorful. It's almost like a Borderlands, not cel-shaded style, but a Borderlands, bright colors, kind of weird weapons and fun stuff, and there's a lot of loot drops too. Which, it wasn't like a mind-blowing thing. Not that I play first-person shooters, so nothing's really mind-blowing, but it actually looked like a fun thing. The different classes they had, like a hunter and a warlock or something. It could be pretty cool for people who like to play co-op first-person shooter games. Then they also mentioned some cloud stuff and the Gaikai acquisition, and how they're going to be able to stream PS3 and other games onto the PS4, and that's how you're going to get your backwards compatibility. I don't like streaming. I don't really like the cloud, and because I have a little bit of a slower internet. But it's good that they're having that option out there, that they don't totally lock you out. And then they ended after everything. They showed the PS4 and they talked about all of this stuff. Everyone was wondering, crap, how much is this going to cost? Are they going to pull another PS3 and make it $600? Nope. $100 cheaper than the Xbone, $399.99 at launch with a 500 gig hard drive. And that was it. They ended with the cheaper than Xbox, better than Xbox. I may be biased a little bit, but yeah, Sony did what it needed to do, and it did it well. They pretty much probably gained the respect of the hardcore gamers after their press conference, but we'll see. I think that'll make them win. If people are going to get a new system, everything that Sony's put out so far has made them the really only choice for a new system. Of course, the fight is going to be: are people going to buy new systems, or are they just going to stick with the ones they have? That's going to be the real tough fight there. But anyway, Sony, you had Final Fantasy, you had good gaming decisions, you had indie game focus, you had so much good stuff. It was definitely a good way to end the first day of E3. Agree? Disagree? Have your own opinion you want to share? Comment or create a video response. Maybe I'll answer you, maybe someone else will answer you, but either way, it'll be a fun time. The clips you see in the background are from Rev3 Games on YouTube. I'll put the link below. As much as I wish I was, I am not associated with Rev3 Games in any way. I just like Adam Sessler and how he runs the channel, so I thought I'd pimp Rev3 Games out a little bit.